every time. We'll start with the usual, sitting on the edge of your chair, sitting up nice and tall. Roll the shoulders back. I forgot to do one thing. And just come into your breath. And there we go. In and out the nose. And it's really nice to close the eyes, but you can just gaze down like towards the floor, your knees, if that's more comfortable for you. Oh, just slowing everything down, breathing in very deeply, fill up the belly, the ribs, all the way over the heart to the collarbones. And as you exhale, the reverse. And see if you can get inhales and exhales to be about the same length. And continue breathing. I'm going to share a reading. This is Meditations from the Mat from Rolf Gates. And his quote is actually from Proverbs 16:18. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. In practice, I often think of this proverb and I remind my students pride and ambition will get you hurt, humility will get you well. Putting satya, or truthfulness, into practice on the mat is an exercise in humility. We tend to vacillate between our pride and ambition and our fear. Think of a posture that you've almost nailed. You're so close to mastering it that you can almost taste it. How tempting it is to push now, to let your ego step in and take you the rest of the way. But when we become ambitious, we lose sight of the point of our practice. Now think of a posture you avoid. A student recently said that she loved my morning class that morning. When I asked her what she had loved about it, she replied, "Well, we didn't do the crow." She speaks for all of us. I personally do not like the eagle pose. I have heavily muscled shoulders and heavily muscled thighs, and balancing on one leg with my arms and legs crossed over each other, I feel a lot more like the retired football player that I am than an eagle. When we avoid certain postures, though, sorry, my eyes are blurring, we're allowing our own beliefs to dictate our reality. We believe that we are somehow less capable than the person to our right or to our left. The truth is that any demon honest, sorry, my contacts are blurring on me. Any demon honestly met becomes a friend, and our friends should be treated wisely if we wish them to remain our friends. Instead of pride or ambition, fear or avoidance, we need the light of the truth. Humility has two sides. Most of us have been told at one time or another, don't get too big for your britches, and we know exactly what that means. Humility is about letting go of the good results as well as the bad. Letting go of the good results and less as well as the bad. But there's another aspect to humility, and that is about not playing small. Just as we may strive on the mat for more than our bodies are ready for, we may also take the opposite tack and play small. We back off and stay in the comfort zone, all our excuses at the ready. I'm not built like that. That's ready. That's great for them, but not for me. I have bad balance, bad knees, bad eyesight, the wrong kind of mat. It's too hot. It's too cold. I'm too young. I'm too old. We sell ourselves short. Humility is also the awareness that we cannot afford to play small. It is the aspect of truthfulness or satya that brings us into balance. We need not eradicate fear or ambition. Both are necessary energies in our lives. Rather, we must bring them into balance in the moment so that our postures are practiced with a healthy distribution of both energies. Our postures become the embodiment of this exquisite balance between holding on and letting go, action and non action, ambition and restraint. What is required to achieve that balance is a commitment to humility, a commitment to the truth. And it's kind of heavy, but I have to read it a couple times. So just listening to it, just think about it though, and think about it during this practice. So we're going to start right away just with the four thumps. So tapping right on the cheekbones. Inhale through the nose, exhale out the mouth. I say it, I keep saying it. I think Candace does too, but I hope you can make this part of your morning routine or anytime during the day. This is the stomach meridian. Oh, keep tapping. And then take it to down to the collarbone, so that notch, and then just right down. I think all of you know this one. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And then right by the sternum, soft fist if you like, or just one, whichever you like. So we just did K27, and this is the thymus. Good for immunity. And then take the spleen. So right on the sides, just tapping away. Get rid of any toxins, anything not serving you physically and mentally. Feel free to bring it around towards the front ribs if that feels right for you. And I always add in the intestines, so each side of the belly here, and this is the liver and the kidneys as well. And the intestines are the inner thighs. Also tapping, massaging, whichever you like, soft fist, just on the inner thighs. And then shake out rigorously, like you're getting rid of it, and then palms up, close the eyes, take a few breaths, and just notice just that few couple of minutes if you notice any change in your body at all. And then open the eyes, drop the hands to the sides. We're just going to inhale the arms up, reach out and up. So really make it as big as you can. Bring the palms together and then to the heart. Inhale the hands up. Separate the palms, reach, get long, and then on the exhale, bring them down to the hips. You can take the head with you, chin to chest. Inhaling up, follow with the eyes. Exhale to the heart. One more time, inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. This time we'll keep the hands at the heart. If you'd like to set an intention, maybe think about letting go of the good as well as the bad. Usually we think about hanging on to it, but letting go. And then let that go. All right. So we'll take the feet wide. And my assistant is demonstrating. I don't know if you can see her, Shavasana. So you're always welcome to go right there if you like. So drop the hands to the sides. Inhale the arms up. And we'll take that Celtic weave to bring yourself all the way down to a forward fold. So anytime we cross the body, we're activating right brain, left brain, stimulating. So just hang here, top of the head towards the floor. Let the arms even be held heavy. Take the palms up and aim the forearms towards the floor. Opening up the hips here, releasing low back. Hopefully it feels good to you, especially in the morning. Take your hands to your knees, flat back. Press into the feet. Use your core to lift you. Take it slow. And then drop the hands. We'll do that one more time. Inhale up. Take the Celtic weave. So you're just crossing the arms over one another. until you get all the way down. Hands to the knees, flat back, and press yourself up. Then we're going to take the left shoulder center and down. A little twist. If you like, you can look over the right shoulder. And then inhale, bring yourself back up, and we'll just switch sides. So right shoulder, center, and then just press down. Option to look over the left shoulder if the neck is awake enough to do so. And then come on up. Let's do each side one more time. So left, center, and down. Maybe go a little further or just feel a little more ease in the low back, the side of the spine. Inhale up. And the right shoulder. And come on up. So we're going to come to standing right away. And you can just stand in your front of your chair, option always to sit. And then we'll turn the chair in a second. So right now we're going to do that same arm march. So same arm, same leg, and just see how that feels. This is not the natural way we walk. Most people don't. So even here, you're working on balance. So if you find a spot, usually a couple feet on the floor in front of you, and then stop for a second, regroup, and now switch. So opposite hand, you can even kind of tap the knee if you want to feel that cross body. If you want to make it bigger, you can make the arms bigger, or you can do the rocket like Jean likes to do. Sorry for calling you out, Jean. But here we're stimulating that nervous system. We're stimulating right brain, left brain. And then if you are doing it big, maybe take it a little bit smaller as we wind down. And then just come to your mountain. Feet are hip width apart, roll the shoulders back, palms open. So active hands. Press the shoulders down, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Press into the feet. The arches even lift a little bit. Tailbone towards the earth. And close the eyes. See how your balance is after that movement. And then open the eyes. And so Pam, probably not going to do this, or you can do it on one foot. You're welcome to grab your chair, but all we're going to do is rise up on the toes, hands to the hips if you want, or down, whatever you want. See if you can take balance on your toes, all 10 toes. So don't roll the feet out, or if you feel that, or roll the feet in. Try to get all 10 toes, engage the thighs, and see if you can stay up there. A little wobbling's perfectly normal. And if you fall out of it, like I just did, come back into it. And then come on down. And now on your heels and just lift your toes up. So actually stretching and strengthening the feet. We stand on our feet all day. Well, I used to anyway. And then place the toes down. Now we're going to add a little arm. Inhale, rise up on the toes. Take the arms overhead. How does that feel? Exhale, come down. The heels come down last. So think of almost articulating the foot. So inhale, heels come up, the arches come up, the ball of the foot. You're as high in your toes as you can possibly get. And then come down. See if you start to wobble a little bit. We'll do it one more time. Inhaling, come on up. Now see if you're tight. See if everything here is strong. Pull the core in. Lift up on the thighs. If you fall out of it, no worries. And then come on down. And then maybe shake out the feet a little bit and the legs. That's a little bit of work on the ankles as well. Those of you that are in the cold, we want to make sure we're strong, especially with the ice. Now we're going to take our feet a little bit wider And just that swinging, swaying side to side, just let the arms flop around your body, almost like they're giving you a little tapping massage there. Option to lift up the heel to get a little deeper twist and to look back. If you get dizzy doing that, and keep your head forward, it's what I do. Just let it go. And now try taking the arms up a little higher, like even shoulder width. And it changes where it gets in the back. And then bring them back down, let them flop. If your heels are coming up, keep the heels down and just start to sort of think of it as unwinding. And then again, take a little wider stance with your mountain. Close the eyes. That created a little energy around you. Should have felt good. And then open the eyes. So here's where we're going to face the chair. So I'm turning my chair just for demonstration purposes. So the seat of the chair is facing you. And you're going to sort of feel where you can have your hands right under your shoulders. So it's sort of like a tabletop just to sort of adjust. And some of what I'm going to do, everyone has different chairs. So you're just going to have to modify if you have like a high back chair. And this can all be done on the floor as well. So if you'd rather be on the floor, totally cool. So hands right under the shoulders, feet right under the hips. So just like we would in a kneeling cat-cow. So we're going to take cat-cow here. So here we drop the belly, roll the shoulders, and look forward. And this gets into the legs a little bit more than we do on our hands and knees. On the exhale, rounding, pull the belly up, drop the head, press into the hands. We always call it like the Halloween cat. And just continue with your own breath. Go your pace. Just do a couple of them. Inhale, lifts. Exhale, rounds. Another thing to keep in mind is to keep the belly engaged even when you drop it. And really, really pull it in on the round. So everybody do one more round. We'll all meet at a neutral spine. And now we're going to add to that. So you're going to bring the left knee in as you round, and then you're going to straighten it out behind you as you lift. So we're not really looking for height. We're looking for extension. So you inhale, knee to nose, exhale, lift, and extend. So a couple on your own. And the next time you're in, we're going to lift the knee to the side. We used to call it fire hydrant, kind of crude, but you're lifting the knee to the side about 90 degrees, bring it back into the center, and then lift it up again and down. One more time, lift, and then lower it, and we'll just switch sides. So right knee into the nose, exhale, extending out. Couple on your own. And then bring the knee in, and then here we go to the side again. So you lift it about 90 degrees, lower, lift, lower, one more lift, lower, and then lower the leg. Now bring your forearms to the chair and just turn it in. You can even bring the forehead perhaps. Just round out the back a little bit, relaxing a little bit. And then come up, back up to that sort of tabletop pose. the right hand is going to go right under your face. So just move it to the center of your chair, bend the knees a bit, drop the left hand to the side, and then we're going to inhale that up to the left. So it's just a bit of a twist. And then exhale down and just switch sides. So the left hand is in the middle of the chair. The right arm reaches up and you go to your level of flexibility. Exhale down. We'll do the same thing one more time on each side, lifting. Exhale down. Right arm. Exhale down. So here's where we're all going to be a little different. I'm going to straighten my legs. If you can, reach for the back of your chair. And if that's really high, don't do it. You can reach for the back of the seat. I'm reaching for the upper part. And we're just sort of a modified down dog here. So you press the hips back, drop the head through the shoulders. So you should feel like right under the armpits, into that hole where that lymphatic area is. Take a few breaths. And then bring your hands back to the seat of your chair. And we're going to come to a kneeling pose right in front of your chair. So this is where if you need more cushioning underneath. And the first one, Pam, you get out of this one, broken toe pose. So you're going to curl the toes behind you, and you can even reach back and just place the toes, really spread them out on the floor. And then you sit back as much as you can. If this hurts your knees, then don't do it. There's not really a modification for this one. So if you want, you can even come back and give a little bit more weight. So a little bit more stretching in the feet. I know that it's painful, but it's really good for your feet. It's kind of like reflexology. And then notice, are your feet kind of going out towards the pinkies or in? See if you can balance right on all 10 toes. I always say embrace the sensation. When you've had enough, hands to the chair again, and you can just flap out your feet. Should feel good. All right, we're going to curl the toes again. And we're going to take our hands to the back of the seat of your chair and sit back. So sort of like a child pose almost. If your forehead reaches to the chair, you can. And I forgot to say, if you don't have a cushion chair, you might want a blanket or a pillow. So still stretching the toes, but now the upper arms and body are getting a bit of a stretch. And then press yourself up, flatten your toes, and then you can deepen that even more. Maybe drag the hands back so the head can fall through the arms, only if you need to go deeper. And then come on up. We're going to curl the toes and just press up, coming back to a standing pose. Everybody doing okay? Okay, still facing your chair. So we'll put the left leg on the chair. And I tend to take it a little bit over to the left side just so that your your feet are hip width apart. And we're going to drop into that. Now you can hang on to the chair back. It is okay for the knee to go past the toe here. Usually we don't say that. And then you're going to come back so that the knee is right over the ankle and take the arms overhead. Option to take hands to the heart, cactus arms, whatever you wish. Here's your challenge. Rise up on the toes. As high as you can, find that focus point. So now you're on one leg. Lower the heel. Lower the hands to your seat chair. Straighten the front leg as much as you can and fold over with the toes down. Now pull the toes towards you so the foot is flexed. Fold over the leg. Come on up. We'll bend the knee again. Come to that position where we're knee is right over the ankle. Rise up one more time. See how steady you can be. Bring the hands to the heart. Lower the heel. See if you can just use a little bit of step off, or I don't know, pull off the chair and come to mountain. And notice the right leg compared to the left. Just notice. And here, stay right here, rise up on the toes. Come back down. And then if you can, step the right leg onto your chair. And the same thing, we're gonna bend into it. So you should feel a pretty good stretch on the left quad as you bend into that. Maybe even the back of the leg. You can reach for the back of the chair. So get that nice stretch. All 10 toes are forward in this one. And then take the hands to the seat of the chair, straighten the right leg, fold over the leg, toes are down. Pull the toes back so your foot is flexed, fold. And then we'll come into the arms overhead or cactus arms, wherever you want. So now your knee is over your ankle. Find a spot. I'm going to keep my hands in prayer for this one. Rise up on the toes. See if you can be steady here. Lower the heel. And see if you can push off and come to a mountain pose first. Rise up on the toes one last time. Lower the heels, lower the hands, close the eyes, find yourself in mountain. Take a couple deep, full breaths. Okay, so we are going to come back down to our knees like we were before. We're going to extend the left leg to the side. So if your dog's in the way, just adjust. So you're standing on the right knee. Your left hand stays on the chair. Right arm reaches up and just leaning to the left. Pretty deep side stretch on the right side. If it feels better to curl the toes for balance, that's absolutely fine. Inhale, come up. Exhale, sink into it again. One more inhale. Exhale just a little bit deeper. Inhale, come up all the way, hand to the chair, and then bring that left knee in and extend the right leg. Same thing. So your hips are facing your chair. The toes are forward, facing the chair. Right hand on the chair, left arm lifts, reaching up, and then lean to the right. And you can certainly just do this seated as well. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach to the right. Inhale, lift. Reach to the right. Inhale, come all the way out of it. Hand to the chair. Bring the right knee in. So you want to make sure here that your knees are about hip width apart, so the two fists, and your toes the same. your feet. So you don't want your feet way out or your toes touching. So here, we're going to curl the toes. That's an option. It sort of makes it a little bit easier. Your hands are on the chair. So we're going into, for those of you that know it, we're doing camel. You can do this on the chair too. So for facing the chair, what I want you to focus on camel, everyone tries to just get this huge arch in the back, but it's actually about the hips. So all I want you to do is roll your shoulders back, press your hips forward, and you will feel it on the low back. But if you're doing it correctly, you should not feel a lot of pain. If you do, then don't go that far. So the first option, keep the chin level, shoulders back, just press the hips towards your chair and you have your hands for balance. And then another option is to take the fist on that flat spot on your back. So maybe take the left fist, press the hips forward, come back and maybe try it with the right wrist. So roll the shoulders back, press the hips forward, and you're gonna feel it's huge stretch on the tops of your thighs. Option to do both. So I'm gonna show you a bunch of options and then you play around with how you feel. You could take both fists and come back up. Another option is to take one arm up, press the hips forward. So here it gives you that lift. So I'm gonna think about lifting first and then press back. Same thing with the other arm. You can take both arms. For those of you that know this pose and it's your practice, don't do it if it's not. It's a pretty deep pose, but you can take your hand to the heels, reach back. You can take both hands to the heels, press the hips forward, drop the head. So I'm a little leery of everyone doing this unless you know this pose. So just, and you don't have to drop the head unless it feels good. So imagine that I have my hands around your back hips and I'm pulling you forward. Okay, you guys look pretty good. All right, come out of that pose, relax the toes, sit back on the knees. Your forearms are on your chair, forehead to the chair, round out the back. If you like child pose on the floor and that's comfortable, go there. This is the counter pose for your camel back. Just soften everything here. Take a few breaths. And when you're ready, come on up. So just lean over to one side of the hips and just bring the legs forward. So here's where I was stretching when I was teaching. So we all have different chairs. So that's a little bit of the challenge, but you're going to put your feet underneath your chair. So you're sitting in front of your chair, you're facing the seat of it. You're putting your feet, the bottoms of your feet on the back legs of your chair. This can be done with a strap too, but since it's chair yoga, you're just going to hang on. So what I want you to first do is get up, sitting up nice and tall. So it's seated mountain pose. It's Dandasana. So my shoulders are still over the hips. So I'm not rounding and I'm not leaning back. So still sitting up tall. If you place your palms on the floor, and I have short arms, so sometimes I do my teepee fingers. But when you do that, press the back of the calf into the mat, press the back of the thigh into the mat, roll the shoulders back, pull the belly in, head is centered on top. This is a lot of work. It is not a relaxed pose. A lot of work just to do that. So now we're going to reach for the chair and you're going to take the sides of your chair. So think of the idea here is to lead with the heart. So a lot of times all we want to do is place our whole torso on our legs and that looks really cool, but it's not all that important or safe many times. So I want the back to be flat and you're leading with the chest, lead with the heart and just pull yourself. So you might immediately feel this on the backs of the legs. If you feel it in the low back, then back off. If you're not feeling it all, then you can reach for the back of your chair and do the same thing. But if you find yourself rounding, then come out of it. So you can reach, 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 press into the chair. So for leverage with the feet, so you're focusing on a flat back. And that protects your back also. And then come out of that very carefully. Bring the right leg up and in as close to you as you can. And then you're just going to drop it to the side, kind of like a butterfly leg. And it can be anywhere on the leg. We're going to do the exact same thing. So sitting up tall. And then same thing, reaching, 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 reaching with a flat back. Feels a little different. Each exhale maybe takes you a little bit deeper. And then come back very gently. Grab that knee and put it under your chair again to the back right. And then gently, I have a bar here, so please be careful. Everyone has a different chair. And bring the knee as far up as you can. Open it out. I have my prop called a Springer Spaniel. Sitting up nice and tall. The same thing. So back is flat, pressing the right foot against your chair to keep it stable, and then just leaning forward with a flat back. Take a few breaths. And then come on out of that. And then you're going to bring the right leg in, and you're going to take a bound angle. So the bottoms of the feet are touching, wide or not. You decide which pose is best for you. So the butterfly pose, hang on to the feet, straighten the back out, roll the shoulders back, chin is level with the floor, and take a few breaths. So this is a passive pose because all you got to do is sit there and let it happen. Let gravity open up the sides, the insides of the thighs. Just sitting up nice and tall, belly's pulled in. Take a few breaths. And then take the feet wide if they're not already, the pose. So the bottoms are feet together, but it's more of a diamond shape with the legs. So it gets in a little different. You can hang on to the ankles, or you could try to stretch here. Pull under the chair, flat back again. Now it's the outside of the thighs. Breathing. And then when you get to where you think it's your edge in this pose, now I do want you to round. You can even put your arms on your chair, your forehead to the chair, and round out. Release the back. Take a few breaths. And when you're ready, come up slowly. Walk your hands back. Come up. And take the hands behind you and just bring your knees together. Scooch back a little bit so it's just your ankles on your chair. And if that doesn't feel comfortable, you can put your feet. But if you can, you're supporting yourself first. And then kind of walk your hands. I always have my fingertips away. It doesn't really matter. But walk it up so that you have a nice straight back here. So it's boat pose. This is modified for sure. If you want to try, take your hands or your arms, face your hands together, plug the shoulders back, lean back a bit, maybe lift the left leg, lower it to your chair, maybe the right leg, lower it. You could continue right, left, or you could lean back a little further. It's hard to talk. You can also grab behind your knees. You can also bend the knees. If you want to take the boat pose off the chair, try to keep a flat back. It's harder here. Shaking is normal, difficult to do while I'm jibber jabbering, but you can still just lift one leg, and that also gets a lot into the thighs too, or both. Whew. When you're done with that, bring the foot down one at a time, and we're gonna scooch towards the chair, and we're gonna put our feet on our chair. So just like a legs up the wall, but you're coming down flat on your back. And if you prefer not to be on your back and you want to do this in a chair, you can do the same. We're doing bound angle again. So the feet bottoms are together on the edge of your chair. Arms are in a T, palms down. And again, let gravity do its work. It's a little bit deeper here. Take a few deep, deep breaths. And if you're on the chair, you're doing exactly the same thing, but your feet are on the floor and you're sitting. Okay, bring the knees, and if you can reach them, bring the knees, kind of gather them back together so that they're parallel. Let the left leg hang out on the chair, so stretch out the calf onto the chair. Hug the right knee in. So you're just a little bit more towards the right armpit. Just give it a little hug. And take the right hand on the right knee. The left hand goes out to T, and then you open it out to the side. So again, you can do this on the chair if that's your choice. So you're just opening the leg out to the right. Bring it back in. You're going to bring the left foot back on the edge of the chair and the right ankle on top of the left knee, and just gently press the right thigh away. So it's that figure 4 modified pigeon. Anyone that wants to take it deeper can grab behind the hamstring and pull the leg in, or on top of the shin and pull the left leg towards you as you press the right knee away from you. So, prone pigeon. One more breath. And then unwind all of that. Right calf goes to the chair. Hug the left knee in towards the left armpit. Just bringing it in. I can't see anybody, so I'm assuming you're with me. Right arm to T. Open out the leg to the side. Opening up the hip. Bring it back to center. Right foot goes to the edge of the chair. Left foot on top of the right knee. Pressing into the left thigh. Or take your pigeon pose if that's preferable. So you should feel a nice deep stretch on the outside left hip. And breathe into that. We hold a lot of tension and emotion there. One more breath. On the exhale, release it. Feet are on the edge of the chair, arms back in T. So you're going to lift your feet off of the chair, pull the knees into the chest, and just drop the knees to the right. So just a twist here. Drop them all the way to the floor, trying to keep the left shoulder down, Right hand can go on top of the knees if you need a little deeper stretch. And in the chair, you're just turning and looking behind you. And then use your core if you can. Use your core to pull the knees back to the center and then pull them into the chest and over to the right. Yeah, the left, sorry. Same thing here. My dog has decided to curl up into me. It's quite lovely. Okay, use your core. Pull the knees back to center. Place the feet on your chair, the calves on your chair. You are in a really lovely Shavasana pose, but if you prefer to lay down all the way on your mat, feel free. If you prefer to be seated in the chair, just take your time. My suggestion is to roll over to the side and bring yourself to a table pose and then up to your chair. So find your Shavasana, find a place where you know you can be nice and steady, still, not move, not worry about anything but breath. Just take it nice and slow wherever you are. And see if you can just let go of everything. So whatever position you are, I would recommend rolling the shoulders back and having the palms up, either alongside the body if you're on the floor or on your thighs if you're seated. You can also just take one hand on top of the other if you're seated, thumbs touch, and then close the eyes. If you have an eye pillow, it's a wonderful, wonderful way to settle in. And just before we go too deep, let's take a couple deep inhales and exhale as a sigh. So deep inhale, fill up the belly. Sigh it out. And do it again. Sigh it out. And one more. And now let go. Don't think about the breath anymore, just breathing naturally, finding steadiness, finding stillness. Find some peace in your body. And just silently repeat after me. Inside your head, tell your feet to relax. The toes, the arches, the heels, the ankles, tops of the feet. Relax. Tell your lower legs to relax, the calves and the shins. Relax the tops of the knees and behind the knees. Tell the tops of your legs, your thighs, and your hamstrings to completely let go. Relax. Your legs are heavy and soft and completely supported. Relax the hips and the belly, the tush, everything's soft. Relax the chest. If you're on the floor, you're completely supported. Your back doesn't have to work to hold you up. If you're in a chair, Lean back. Do as little work as possible. Just take in the practice. Relax your shoulders. Relax your forearms, the elbows and the elbow creases. Tell your forearms to relax and your wrist. Release any tension, even in the hands and the fingers and fingertips. Let it all go. Rest, relax, just reset, and I'll bring you back with the sound of the bell. Keeping the eyes closed, just start to turn the head side to side, waking the body back up. Be very gentle with yourself. You can touch each fingertip to the thumb and then wiggle your fingers and roll your wrist a couple times in both directions. Wiggle the toes and just rock the ankles side to side. So we're all in different positions. So I'm just going to give you a few moments. Roll to your side if you're on the floor. Take a few breaths there. If you're already in your chair, just come more upright. Take a few moments. Just bring yourself to a seated position. You can stay on the floor or your chair, your choice. But when you get there, come back to closed eyes and a full breath again. If you can, keep the eyes closed and just drop the hands to the side of the hips, just like the beginning of class. Turn the palms up and inhale the arms up and out. Think of gathering in whatever it is you need today and bring that to your heart. And if you set an intention, bring that back to your heart as well. And fluttering the eyes open. Thank you all for being here. I wish each of you health. I wish you happiness. And I wish you peace. Namaste.
Namaste.